Edward J. Gibson, U.S. Air Force.
And when did you serve?
1957 to 1961.
How old were you when you joined?
I think I was about 25. What made me decide? I got my draft notice. So I decided to join up the Air Force. I was a mechanic. My first 2 years I spent at reclamation, tearing parts off airplanes, because I was previously a Canadian, and I joined the Air Force, and they put me up in reclamation till they checked all my references, and which took 2 years.
So you were born in Canada?
Yeah.
And became a naturalized citizen?
Yeah, after the service I did, yeah.
Right.
Well, my father was born here, and his mother moved them to Canada, and he had like 2 brothers, and they all moved to Canada. And I was born in Canada, so I became, automatically a Canadian. And he always had the urge he wanted to come back to where he was born. And when I turned about 16, I think it was, he decided, my brother, he had moved here already, and he worked for Ford. And my dad got antsy. He says, we're going to move. So we packed up and we moved to Niagara Falls. No, I was based in California. Edwards Air Force Base, actually, which is in the desert. In the desert, boy, it was bad because during the day it got hotter than hell. And at night, you got ice on the water. So, you had this big, heavy coat. And but it was fun. I enjoyed California, and I joined the Air Force. Or I enjoyed the Air Force. I forget some of these things, but I met, I think his name was Edward. He was a test pilot, flew the X-15. All the test pilots, like, that flew the experimental things, they would come through the hangar and I'd be there, so I'd walk over and I'd introduce myself and say hello to them. Ed was basically an experimental base. We tested the X-15 and all the supersonic things. I was based right on the flight line, so we used to go into the pilot's, called a restaurant, for our coffee breaks and such, and hear them talking. It was interesting out there because being a test pilot, there was quite a few crashes.
Yeah.
And when one of our planes crashed, we'd have to go up, and it was fun, but it wasn't pleasant. And they were all friendly. Test pilots were a different breed. It's something I'm very proud of. And I'll defend it for no matter what. It's our flag. And nobody's going to take it. And if they try to take it, they're in trouble. Well, it taught me how to take orders, which is the main thing. And made me ready for my outside jobs and so forth. Met my wife, we got married, and that was it. Didn't have any children, though. I had a stepdaughter.
What did you do after your service?
I ran a water treatment plant.
Did you?
Yeah.
For a municipality or a private?
For a little town called Grand Island, New York. And I done that for 25 or 26 years. Then I got bored. My wife got, a little antsy. So I went out and I got a job working for Enterprise Rent-A-Car. But I wound up working for them for 16 years.